So, obviously you saw the title, so you know what this is about. This type of video or subject I don't usually like to talk about. I just feel like, I don't know, some stuff's meant to be personal, and like this is my life / my daughter's life, and it's obviously a personal subject, but something just happened over this weekend, and it was ridiculous. And it's like, the ridiculousness isn't just like that one day, a one-off. Obviously, I want to be making a video. It's all the time, and like, it's just, I don't know, I feel like what happened on Saturday just really put it over the top. Like, what is happening? And like, I want to be able to do something about it, but I don't know what to do. And that's what makes things even more challenging. But anyways, so today is Tuesday, October 20th. And this happened on Saturday, October 17th, after my daughter's soccer game. So probably her game was, 2:45? So probably, was it 2:45? That was a late game. So anyways, this is probably like 3:40, because the games are only 50 minutes long. So it's probably like 3:40 that this incident happened at. So anyways, her first game of this season, it's a weird short season because of COVID. She's only going to have 4 games, and prior to this, she had 4 scrimmages. So last weekend was her first game. Anyways, the field that we're going to be going to is at a elementary school. So obviously, there's also playscapes there for the kids, and they're actually nice playscapes. There's 2 of them. There's one for like the smaller kids, and then there's one for, I don't know, middle school. For the bigger kids, like smaller meaning like preschool, and bigger meaning like regular elementary. Anyways, it's a good park though. I take her there all the time, just to go to the park. That's one of my, there's like 2-3 parks I take her to, and that's one of them. It's a good one. It's private. There's usually nobody's there, and it's, like I said, it's a good park. There's a lot to do. Anyhow, has nothing to do with the story in general. I'm just rambling on about this awesome park. So after soccer, first off, during soccer, actually, let me back up even more. When I first got there and saw the parks, and then the fields right behind it, I was like, man, these kids playing soccer are probably going to be looking at the park thinking, I want to play over there. I don't want to be playing soccer. And then I was thinking, geez, imagine the kids that have siblings that aren't playing soccer, and they're over there having fun playing on the park. The kid playing soccer is going to be jealous. So then I thought, oh man, she meaning my daughter, she's probably going to want to go play on the park after, but her mom's so boring, I know it's going to be a no. So what happened? Sure enough, when soccer was over and we're walking back, she says, Mom, can I play at the park for a little bit? And before she even finished her sentence, her mom was already saying no. And then she had this dumb, long list of excuses why. We got to go home, and brother's waiting for us, and I mean, it's part of the story, but I don't really know what to say for now. I'll just say James, that's the guy she's with, has been with for 6 years. But James is waiting for us, and I got to get food, blah, blah, blah. And it was just like, man, why do you got to suck, Like, you should have proved me wrong and just did it for once. All she needs is like 20 minutes, and she's happy. 20 minutes to a kid is like 3 hours to an adult. Like, to an adult, 20 minutes is nothing, but to a kid, that would have made her day to play at the park for 20 minutes. She wouldn't have known what 20 minutes meant. Anyways, yeah, I'll give you 20 minutes. Okay! Like, if you said that to an adult, we're like, that's it. But to a kid, they think that's awesome, and then they're happy, and it's so easy. So simple to make a kid happy. And like I said, too, like, the reasons, I don't know, I just felt like her reasons were weak. Her reasons were weak. Man, that's more of a tongue twister than you'd think. Like, it was like, you really could spare 10 minutes even. Jeez, you don't have to book out of here for those stupid reasons. Like, sometimes I'd say no to my daughter, but I have a legit reason. I'm like, no, because grandma's waiting for us at, this place, and we got to be there, so we don't really have time to play. I mean, technically, but you'd have like 5 minutes, and that's just stupid. But at least I have a real reason. I'm not just like, no, I want to go home and watch TV. Like, so anyways, though. So the real meat of the story, though, was what she said wasn't James. She said, Dad, brother and Dad are waiting for us at home, and blah, blah, blah. And so that's when my daughter said, my dad's right here, meaning me. And then after she says, well, Daddy James. And then after my daughter said, you mean James? And then that's when her mom's just like, going off on her. saying, you don't have to, I don't know, there was something that happened in the middle. I forget the interaction there, but then after she ends up saying that she's an ungrateful B word, and it was just like, what? And then let me just get through the story, and then I'll break it down after. So, and then later, like, I don't know, 5 seconds later, her mom's sister was behind us as well, and she says, "Good job at soccer today, Morgan." And it was literally a second, not even, before she said thank you. But her mom's like, "Are you gonna say thank you, rude A word?" And it's like, oh my word, she's 8. Do you really need to talk to her like that? And like I said, this is something that's been going on. This ain't anything new. She's been talking crappy to her since she was like 4. And everyone's seen it, and I know a lot of her family actually does try to mildly intervene. Like, I feel like we're all just in a situation where we don't know what to do. Only because we're intertwined and it's not right, and I don't know. Like, I know her family, I almost feel like they don't know what to do, because at the same time, they're all family, so like they don't want to cause problems, but at the same time they're like, you're not being very right to that child. But anyhow, so then I didn't say anything during the whole interaction because I didn't even know what to say. Like, I wanted to stick up for my daughter just from her mom being so unnecessarily brutal. I mean, basically all it stemmed from is because my daughter doesn't like her mom calling James dad when I am. There's nothing wrong with that. That doesn't make her ungrateful or blah, blah, blah. She just wants her mom to be respectful of me. Like, I mean, let's put it this way. If I was calling another female mom, she wouldn't like it. She'd be flipping out. No, that is not mom. She has one mother. I gave birth to her. Blah, 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 blah. You don't call anyone else mom. She's got a name. You call her the name. So it's like, okay, so why is it okay for you to call someone else dad around her all the time? Like, luckily my daughter doesn't do it. She's James, that's it. Her stupid mom will say dad, and she'll just say James every single time. She doesn't even say daddy James, like that crap that her mom wants her to say. So in a way, it's like, all right, good. We're still winning, but it's annoying. But anyways, so breaking down the whole entire situation. First off, that's extremely rude on her mom's part that she calls him dad. Because, first off, it's rude to me when I'm there. Because it's like, no, she has a dad. I'm right here. Like, don't call someone else dad. Like I just said, you wouldn't like it if I was calling someone else mom, especially in front of you. So don't do it to me. Second, it's rude to my daughter because it's like, she knows she has a dad. She has me, who she loves and likes to visit with and hang out with and looks forward to seeing and yada, yada, yada. So by calling someone else dad instead of acknowledging that that title is mine, it's just disrespectful to her, because it's almost like it just, I don't know, downplays her emotions, downplays her actual family. Like, it's just rude. And then it's also rude because of this more, I guess, underlying reason, which is her family has this motto that any man can be a father, but it takes someone special to be a dad. So they have that motto because her dad is an adoptive father. She doesn't even know her real dad, and the guy that she does have as her dad adopted her when she was 2. So that's kind of like why they have that motto. Like, her real dad, they don't even know who the real dad is. Her father, if you will, they don't even know him. But this guy willingly took on 2 kids and made a commitment and became their dad, and you know what I mean? So that's kind of their thing. So anyways, when she talks to my daughter about me, though, she says, your father. So I get the father title, and she gives James the dad title. Now, I'm not saying James should get the father title, because he's not her father either. I'm both. I'm her father and her dad. But, like, that's, in her mind, with her family motto and all that crap, it's kind of disrespectful. It's like she's just downplaying me. Oh, you're nothing. You don't matter. You're just her father. You gave her half her genetics. That's it. And it's like, no, I am her dad. There's a lot that I went through. There's a lot that I went through in the beginning. I basically missed out when she was a baby, and not because of me. Not because I didn't try, not because I didn't want to be there, but because her. always having some stupid excuse why I couldn't come and making problems all the time. And yeah, I could have went. Like, sometimes she'd say, if you show up, you're going to be trespassing, we'll call the cops, blah, blah, blah. Well, I always had the court order on me. I kept it in the diaper bag just on purpose because of how she was. And I would always think, well, whatever, I can go. And the cops will call them, I'll show them the court order. And the cops can't change the court order, but they can enforce it. So if I show them, look, it says Saturdays I'm supposed to get her this time to this time. Look what time it is. It's within my window. I'm here to pick up my kid. Then the cops would just say, okay, give him the kid, blah, blah. Like, we had that happen one time. But I never really did it because I was like, what's the point? Like, I don't mean for that to sound the wrong way, but during those times, my visits were only 2 hours as it was. And then, so then if we waited for the cops and all this, blah, blah, how much time would I really have? Half hour? 45 minutes? What am I going to do with a baby in half an hour or 45 minutes? Even with a kid, what are you going to do in that much time? Go to lunch and then come back? But with a baby, what are you really going to do in that much time? Nothing. So that's why I'd just not bother. She'd send these stupid threats and I wouldn't bother. And then we'd have to go back to court again. I'd have to explain the story. And then it would just start all over. And this went on for the entire first year of my daughter's life. Actually, a little bit longer, like a year and 2 months. And then finally, the judge must have finally realized and saw the light. And, you know, maybe he's just used to a lot of dads being deadbeat losers. And that's why it took him a year when he realized I wasn't trying to be a deadbeat loser. And I was trying to be there. But the mother wasn't letting it happen. Because that's when he finally said, if he ever has to take you back to court, I'm going to throw you in jail and or reverse custody. That was his words. I think what he meant wasn't reverse custody. He meant reverse primary residency, because we have joint custody, so you can't really reverse that. There's no alternative. It would just be, okay, it's the same. You reverse, 50-50 reversed is still 50-50. So I think he meant primary residency. But yeah, then after that, it finally stopped. Like, all of a sudden, now there was real consequences, so she couldn't keep dicking me around. And what's happened ever since that? I've been there for every single visit like I'm supposed to be. Because that was one thing she used to always try to pin, too. She made these stupid, bogus charts that were just so annoying and disrespectful, kind of, and rude, and just trying to pin me out to be something I'm not and make me look so much worse than I was. And like, oh, he missed this visit and this visit. Look at this chart. The amount of visits he should have had versus the ones he actually had. And it's like, yeah, why don't you fill in the blanks there and say why I didn't have those visits? Let's see, this one you threatened to call the cops if I showed up. Oh, this one you said if I don't have a jacket for her, then you weren't going to give it to me. Because, forbid if you provide the jacket you have for her. I see her 2 hours a day, 6 hours a week. You can't provide a jacket for me when I pick her up? And it was all kinds of just stupid little things like that. Oh, you had a problem with me paying you the stupid... This was before my child support was wage garnished, so I'd pay her a check. It was a way to make a paper trail for myself, because I knew how she was, and she'd lie if I paid cash. He never paid me anything. So at least if I had the paper trail, I could say, no, look. So she didn't like that, though. So, of course, then we had problems. Oh, because I paid with a check. That's somehow a reason that I'm not going to be able to have my visit. You want to see here? You'll bring cash. Really? You got money? That technically is cash. Just go to any bank and cash it. Like, she's trying to make stupid, bogus excuses about going to the banks. Oh, well, blah, 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 blah. Then they're going to charge me. No, they're not. The money is in my account. It's like your payday check. You can go to any bank. It doesn't matter what bank wrote the check up. The money's in that account. The bank will get the money back. Anyways, yeah. So, I don't know how I got on this long tangent about the days of when she was a baby. But, yeah, so... I went through all that, and like nowadays too, I do everything with her. She's watching TV, I watch TV with her. She's, when I take her to the park, if there's no other kids there, or very little amount of kids there, I'll play with her on the playscape as well. I don't care. Makes her happy. We play stupid games together. The only thing I don't do is I don't go down the slides, only because slides are disgusting. Kids are dirty and ugh. But otherwise, anything vertical, as long as I'm standing, I run around on the thing with her. Everything that we do also is almost her choice too. Are you hungry? The answer is yes. Okay, what would you like? Sometimes it's I don't know, and I say, well, what are you feeling? Do you want a burger? Do you want to go get a pizza? Do you want to get tacos? What do you feel like? You want to go home and make something? It's always all her choice what we do. I it's just everything. I'm like, maybe to a certain degree, I'm almost like a super dad. Not to try to make it a competition or anything. It's just what I do. It's not like I'm trying to put effort in. You know what I mean? Like when you're putting effort in, it's like when you're at work, you get like, oh, I don't want to do this, but I have to, so I can get that good bonus or whatever. Like this is just natural to me. It's just fun. I want to do everything with her. So, it's just, again, that's rude to call me just her father. No, I'm not. I am her dad. I don't guarantee, I know I do way more for her than her or James do, her mom or James do combined for her. So, I don't know where all this disrespect is that, I'm just a father and don't call me dad ever and stuff. That's one thing, too, is like, it's also... So the whole situation with the James guy, anyways, first off, I mean, he is a decent guy. I don't have a problem with him. She could be with someone crappy who's, I don't know, abusive or something. Like, he's super laid back, and I don't have to worry about him. I know that he's okay with her, and, at least everything in that regard is fine. So I don't have a problem with him. I just don't like how her mom is disrespectful and rude and always says dad, implying him. Especially when I'm right there. Like, they have a son together, and so I get it, like, if at home when I'm not around or whatever, they say dad generically, just so that way then, the son's not hearing dad, and then James when they're talking to my daughter or something, and he just hears dad, like, okay, whatever. That's understandable, I guess. But when I'm around, like, when they're talking to my daughter, dad should mean me. And then have some other stupid name for James. Either just say James when I'm around or call him something dumb like the Daddy James thing. Or something. Not always imply dad to be him. I hate it. It's just so super rude. Anyways, so I had another point, but I'm driving and something distracted me and I forgot it. So anyways, the next topic was when she called her an ungrateful B word. It had something to do with, she was talking about money. Oh yeah, that's what she said. She says, James is more your father than, James is more, James does more for you than your dad does. And like that, I was just like, what? Like that really blew me off, and I was trying to think of something to say to defend myself that time. Not even my daughter, just myself. But again, it was just so crazy and dumb and no basis to it. She don't know what I do with or for Morgan. And it was just like, what? And then she's saying that's when she came up with the ungrateful B word thing, because she says, like, they're gonna go shopping for clothes on Sunday, I guess, for her for school. And she's like, who do you think's paying for that? I don't have any money. That's gonna come out of James or whatever. She said, I don't know. Maybe she was still rude and saying dad. So blah, blah, blah. But anyways, it's like, all right, so you think that he does more for me? So, oh yeah, that's something she said too. She said, my daughter said, yeah, if he does do more than for me, it's because he lives with you, so I just see him more. Which, of course, then her mom didn't like that. Oh, you're spitting more truth, so mom can't handle that. And then I think that's when she said, when we get home, you're going to your room. I'm not dealing with your ass. And it's like, oh, my word. You're the one starting trouble by saying all kinds of stupid things anyways. You're the one calling someone else who's not her dad. You're the one saying that he does more for her real dad when you don't even know what I do for her. So don't be taking it out on her that you're an idiot. And she's accurately correcting you. But anyways, I don't know what her basis of somebody doing more for her means, if it's love and time being spent on the child or if it's financial. But in either case, I blow both of them combined out of the water. Okay, first off, like I just said earlier, I do every single thing with my daughter. Everything. We even make those videos. If you've on my my videos with her, those are the ones recently with the caramel apple and the slime, and even the goofy interview ones and stuff. Those were all her idea, and I do it because I figure, okay, whatever, if this is what you want to do, and I do that. And like I said, I watch TV with her, play with her at the parks, color with her. We make up silly games all the time, like we play indoor Marco Polo. It's basically hide and seek. but with our eyes shut, and we say Marco Polo. We made up another game. This was like for Sunday mornings when I don't feel like getting up, so we make it so that the floor is an ocean and there's sharks in there, and one of us goes on the floor and the other one's on the bed, which the bed's a helicopter, and we got to save the one on the floor from the sharks and stuff. Like, everything. Whatever she's doing, I'm right there doing with her. I think the only time she's doing something by herself is when Sunday mornings, if I'm still sleeping and she gets up before me, then she's just hanging out in her room doing her own thing. But as soon as I wake up, she gravitates right to me and we start doing everything together again. We have breakfast together, we watch a movie in the morning together, and that starts our day, and it just continues off everything together. Like, don't say it. I know they don't do more than I do for her. I know that they have a room in the basement with toys and stuff, and they have her go down there and play all the time. You're not with her then. I also know, like, they watch a lot of TV, and that stuff, like, it's for them, you know, like Law and Order and stupid crap like that. Which means they're not bothering with either one of the kids. So, you know, it's like, don't try to say that you know, you guys do more than I do. No, you really don't. I know you don't. Secondly, if you want to say financially, okay, then let's break it down this way. So I have to pay $540 a month in child support. Plus, I have to pay roughly $100 a week in stupid daycare costs. Because, you know, $540 a month in child support isn't enough to cover the stupid portion of daycare that I have to cover. So right there alone, that's $940 a month. Just to her stupid, actually ungrateful mother. Then I gotta afford everything for her when she's with me. So easily, every single month of her entire life, I've been dropping $1,000 just for her. Easily. So, I guarantee they don't pay that much a month for both of their kids. Never mind just one of them. So again, you want to try to say that, you know, he does more than I do? Yeah, no, he doesn't. No, you don't. And no, you both don't combined. It's ridiculous, the level of disrespect from her. And that's what I'm making this whole video for, too, because, like, this is all the stuff I would have liked to say in the moment on Saturday, but I just couldn't think. It was just such a ridiculous onslaught on her and an onslaught on me as well, for no reason. It was just so stupid and unfounded, and there's no logic or anything behind it. But yeah, so, oh yeah, and then that's the other thing too I was thinking when she says, I don't have any money. Who do you think's buying the clothes? I don't have any money. And then it made me think that too immediately. I thought, don't I have to give you $540 a month? How do you not have any money? What are you wasting that on? That money is supposed to go specifically towards my daughter. It's called child support, not child's mother's bonus pay every week, not child's mother's side hustle. So how do you not have $540 at least saved up for her to buy clothes with? What are you wasting that money on? Oh, I know what the money's being wasted on. Recently, they got a house. Well, she don't make any money, so I know she ain't affording the house. And as far as him, his pay is kind of average, or at least it was. He got a new job. I don't know what he's making now, but they've had the house for over a year, and he just started this new job, so it's not like this pay is doing anything. His pay is kind of average, though. Like, not super low. I think it was like 20 bucks an hour, 22, somewhere around there. Like, you know, it's all right, but that's not really home ownership money. That's definitely easily renting, but not homeowner. But how do they have a house? Oh, because if you think about it, in the past 8 years, at $6,000 a year, they made $48,000 off of me. So if she's been saving it the whole time, well, there's a huge down payment on a house, and she got into a car accident. So I know she got a decent settlement out of that. She got her car, like, right after she got her settlement, so I know she had enough money to buy that car that she has. It's nothing special. It's just a, what is it, a Subaru hatchback or something? Nothing special, but still. And then obviously there's more money to go towards that house. So the way I've calculated it out, I estimate that their monthly mortgage payment after all this extra money has been laid down as a down payment, their monthly mortgage payment is probably less than my monthly rent. So I'm like, yeah, okay, no wonder you have a house. Like, don't upplay it. I only mention this house stuff because I know how she is. She's someone that would, like, kind of, if push came to shove, she would try to rub it in my face. She never has yet, but she's someone who definitely would try to rub it in my face and act like she's so much better than me because, oh, she's got a house and blah, blah, blah. Oh, I can better provide for Morgan. And it's like, no, you can't. Like, let's be real and think about everything. Like, you know, you have the house only by circumstance. Like, if you were living with if you didn't even have James and you didn't have child support, you'd have nothing. You'd have a crap apartment and that's all. Because she makes, like, minimum wage. Like, that's like $300 a week. You ain't in a house off of $300 a week. You have the house because you have James, you have child support, and you had that accident that you got a decent settlement from. Like, let's be real. Anyways, though, just to circle on back to the main point of this video. It's just like going back to that day, though. Like, she says an ungrateful B word. Basically because how she was saying that James is not dad or daddy James. He's just James because that's what he is to her. And then she calls her that ungrateful B word. But it's just like, you know, at the end of the day, who's really being a B word? Her? Because she's sticking up for herself on how she feels and sticking up for me, sort of, you know. Because, you know, she doesn't like that her mom calls someone else dad. You know, is that the B word? Or is the person that has a problem with it the B word? Like, it's just ridiculous. And it's like, at the end of the day, too, here's the other thing, I guess. Like, first off, her mom has been diagnosed in the past with bipolar disorder, or however you call it. She is bipolar, or whatever the words are to put it. She has bipolar. How do you phrase that? I don't know. You get what I'm trying to say, though. But anyway, yeah, so this was, I think it was like her late teens is when she got the diagnosis, and she used to be on meds, and then like her early 20s, she quit taking them because, I don't know, she would say, oh, it's not going to be good for my organs, like my liver or whatever, blah, 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 and I don't need to take them because I figured out how to have it under control. But it's like, yeah, no. You might think you have it under control, and when you're having your spasms or your whatever, not a spasm, but your episodes, your manic and depressive, well, I don't really think she gets to the depressive side. It's just manic. It just blows up on the manic side and then comes down to normal, and then manic, and then goes down to normal. But when you're in those episodes, like, you're not realizing because you're just in the moment of it. And I don't think she even realizes afterwards either, because there's never really any apologies or anything like that come along. It's just like, you know, life goes on. Let's just ignore what happened and blah, blah, blah. But anyhow, yeah, she claims, oh, I figured out how to control it. And it's like, no, you haven't. As long as I've known you, it's been obvious that you've had problems. Before you even told me, I knew. But yeah, so it's just like, that's what she says, that she's got it under control and what have you, but it's like, no, you don't. And like, this is something I tried to bring up way back in the day with Court too. I tried to say, hey, you know, she's got problems. Can we like subject us both to a mental health evaluation? I don't care. Because I was trying to show, like, I'm not trying to cause problems. Like, I'm saying this for a reason. There's an actual problem, and I want to prevent serious issues down the line. And so subject me to the thing too. You know, I don't care. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to be problematic if I'm going to take a test also. Or whatever, be evaluated. It's not really a test. You know, you got to see somebody for a little bit. But still, like, that's what I wanted to do. Because I knew this time would come. Like, when Morgan was younger, when she was like a baby up to, I don't know, 3, maybe 4-ish, things were okay. And no, not even. Maybe just 3. It was okay with her mom. And then out of nowhere, she just started hating her. She used to be so vicious to her when she was like 4 years old over nothing. Like, I would come to pick her up and like, I didn't even know how to feel. It was like, what is happening right now? Like, she was basically trying to pick a fight with a kid. And it was like, what the heck? And then I always felt like, well, good thing I'm here to get her out of this environment, get her away from this and bring her to, you know, peaceful happiness and love. Because this is insane. But anyways, I feel like I'm going off the rails. I'm not really trying to get into all that backstory. I just really wanted to talk about Saturday. So yeah, that's the thing though, how I kind of looped in is because how she has the problems. But it's just like, you know, I don't know. Like, this all doubles back just to, like, I want to figure out something that I can do to just help the situation. I don't know if I could somehow get primary residency of my daughter so she just lives with me and her mom gets the visits. Or if somehow I could figure out a way to, like, force intervention, a mental health intervention or something. I don't know how to do any of that, but something's got to happen because it's ridiculous. And right now, fine, maybe my daughter's okay, and she just kind of, I don't know, she's just a kid, so maybe she doesn't realize what's happening. She's just like, yeah, that's how my mom is, and it doesn't faze her, you know what I mean? But I don't know, I feel like when she gets older and she starts to see this, it's gonna be, you know, it's gonna, first off, it's gonna cause problems because she's gonna see it and try to call her mom out on her crap, and then her mom's just gonna flip out because every time she's proven wrong, she doesn't like that, and she just blows up even more and flips out even more. So that can't happen, and it will happen when my daughter's old enough to realize, like, Mom, you're stupid. And then second off, though, it might cause, I don't know, psychological damage when she's older. Like now, like I said, she's young, maybe she just doesn't realize. So she's just used to it always happening, and it's just like, yeah, whatever, that's how my mom is. But when she's older and she's got like a more mature brain that like recognizes these issues as like, what the heck, why are you being like this towards me? I just feel like if there's something I could do to prevent that, obviously it would be better. If we could nip it now before it gets any worse. But I just don't know what to do. I know all the crap I went through in court in the very beginning, and it's like, it just makes me feel like, well, am I even gonna have any kind of luck? I feel like somehow this would backfire on me, and like my visitation would get less, and somehow I'd end up paying more child support. I'd be like, what? We came to court because I'm trying to basically protect my kid, and instead I get less time with her and pay more in child support. So that's why I don't even bother to try, because I just feel like it's just not gonna play out. I mean, I had a lawyer the first time around too, and she sucked. She was the most worthless lawyer ever. If I was like the industry or whatever, the bar people, like I'd be stripping her license because she did nothing for me. She just took my money and that was it. Thanks for the easy payday. I will do nothing for you in return. Like, so my point of saying that though is because like I feel like, can I even get a lawyer that would help me? I had one and it did nothing. So I feel like the same situation is going to happen again. And maybe it's just because the stupid Connecticut laws are structured to be so anti-dad that it's almost like maybe that's why my lawyer did nothing. It's not that she did nothing, it's just that there's not much she can do. I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, that incident on Saturday, the 17th, was just really ridiculous. And like, it just, I don't know, it bothered me. I was thinking about it all day, the rest of the day on Saturday. And then, you know, it just made me feel bad and guilty. And I was like, geez, like I didn't even do anything, but I just felt like, I don't know. And then Sunday it was on my mind. And then Monday I was thinking, all right, she's got school. And I was like, wait, school doesn't matter because she's not really away from her mom. Her mom works, so what difference does it make? They're both not home, you know what I mean? It's not like she's getting a break from her mom. And then Tuesday, today finally came, and it was like, all right, whew, I can get there and swoop you out of there, and you can have, it's not much, it's only 4 hours, but at least you can get 4 hours of time away from that. You know, the thing that's super ironic at the end of the day of all this too is like, she has a son also, like I said, with James, and like their son is terrible. I've babysat them, well, babysat him, and you know, I don't really count as babysitting when it's with my daughter. It's not really babysitting, but with him, yeah. And he is terrible. He's so annoying. He doesn't listen. He does the most dickhead things to you. Like he had some little backpack. I don't know. It's probably for one of his toys or something. And like he was swinging the thing at my ball area. And like he knew what he was doing. He knew that that's an area that's sensitive, and like he kept doing it. And I tell him knock it off, and then like he thinks it's funny. He starts laughing. He's trying to swing the thing harder, and I'm like, what's the matter with you? Knock it off. And like, oh my word, he acts like a brat all the time too. And like he gets away with it no problem. Every single time he's acting up, all I think is, oh my word, if Morgan did something half as insane as this kid's doing right now, she'd be getting her head screamed off. But this kid does it and it's fine. How is it okay? Like there's been so many times too where I go to pick her up and he's being really irritating. Like I see it, he's nagging at her, and I know as an older sibling myself, I know how younger siblings can be. And I'm putting myself in her shoes and I'm thinking, oh man, she's got to be getting so annoyed right now. He's just being super annoying. And she's not reacting, and I'm like, she's doing a good job holding it back. Maybe it's because she knows she's going to be leaving in 2 minutes, so she's trying to ignore it. But then she gets to a breaking point, and she doesn't even really snap at him. She just says, Bubby. She calls him Bubby. So she's like, Bubby, stop. And just like that. That's not a yell or anything. That's just kind of like an irritated request for action. You know, Bubby, stop. And then her mom will be like, don't you yell at your brother. He's just trying to play with you while you're still here. You know he misses you when you leave. And like, she flips out at her, and it's like, whoa, hold on. First off, she didn't yell at him. She just merely said something with a mild tone in her voice because she's getting irritated, but she's doing her best to not really, like, be over the top and yell at him. And second off, I mean, I was watching the whole interaction. He was being pretty annoying. Like, let's be fair. Don't say anything to her. Back her up and say something to him. Or just say nothing. I mean, really, nothing's needed to be said. The kids are handling their situation themselves. But still, like, it's just, I don't know. I'm sure just me saying these things, it sounds one way, and you know, listening to it, you'll be like, yeah, whatever, this guy's an idiot. That doesn't sound like that big an issue. You know, the child, she's just disciplining her child. Blah, blah, blah. But it's like, yeah, but you don't know. You know, you're not there. You don't see this stuff, okay? She's my kid. Obviously, I've been in her life. I've seen all these interactions when I go to pick her up. Some of them even when I drop her off. I just see how it is. There was one time when the whole surrounding area was out of power for a few days. There was a storm, knocked the power out. Where I live, the power usually comes back pretty quickly because we're kind of... I thought we were on the local hospital's grid, but apparently we're not. But whatever grid we have is still a pretty decent grid for whatever reason. So yes, we were out of power, but it was only for a day, where everyone else was out of power for like 3-4 days. So on a Thursday, which is one of the days I get my daughter, her mom asked if, you know, her, James, and the son could come over and take a shower at my place. And I was like, yeah, that's fine, whatever. Because I'd hoped that they would do the same for me in return. Like, you know, I'm not going to be a jerk. No, that's my shower. Like, whatever. I get it. You don't want to be dirty and gross. So anyways, though, like, the face that my daughter had when her mom was there was just, like, sheer, like, disgust. Like, ugh, what the heck are you doing here? First off, this is my time to be away from you. Second, this is Dad's place. You don't belong here. And third, like, don't be interrupting on my time, thank you. And it was just like, obviously she didn't say any of that, but it was just her face. You could just read that that's what her face was saying. Like, she was like, ugh, you need to go. And it was like, man, that's pretty bad that an 8-year-old feels that negatively about her mom. Like, when you're a kid, especially that age, your parents are supposed to be everything to you. They're your best friends. They're the smartest people you know. They're the coolest people you know. They're the people that you confide in and turn to. You know, you're not at that age where you think your friends are people you can turn to. It's your parents. They're the only people you really know. Everyone else is just like a school friend, and you know, you don't even think of them as friends yet because you don't hang out with them. They're just at school, so they're, you know what I mean? You're a kid. But, like, for her to have, like, that natural reaction, like, ugh, is just like, oh, my God. Like, that's a telltale of a lot right there. That's telling a story. A picture's worth 1,000 words? Okay, well, all I had to do was take a picture of her face with her mom standing nearby, and boom. That's a Stephen King book right there. Stephen King book meaning because he usually writes really long stories. Get it? Like, it is, like, 800 pages. But anyways, yeah, and like, it's just, you know, there's just so many times too. Nowadays, when I come to pick her up, it's almost like she's always like ready to go. Like, it's not like she wasn't ready to go before, but like now it's a whole new level. Like, literally, she's like already at the door, like waiting for me, and I don't even make it up the stairs all the way, and she's coming out the door. And of course, her mom's like, hello, where are you running off to? You didn't say bye to me yet and stuff, blah, blah. But, like, that's how ready she is. And all I think is, gee, I wonder why she's so ready to go. You probably have been already nagging on her, and you've only been home from work for, like, an hour. But you've probably already made her, the hour that you've been with her, miserable. So she's just like, woof, sign of relief right here. I'm out of here. But, yeah, so like I was saying, you just don't know. But a lot of people who do know her do know, like, they see the light, even though, like I said in the beginning of the video, how she tries to pull the blinders over and make everyone think A when everything's really B, and they believe A at first, but, you know, now they're starting to see B. And I know some people who have even been talking to me, and they're like, you know, why don't you try to get full custody of her? Or, you know, at least, like, switch it around so, like, I have primary residence. I guess not full custody. They just mean, like, do that. Make it so I have primary residency and she gets the visits. And I'm like, I know, I've thought about it, but I don't know how it's going to go for me. Like I just said here in this video. But yeah, there's a lot of people that I know her as well that say that. Because they know how she is with her. They even say, like, you can see the difference in Morgan. You can see when she's with her mom, she's, like, not happy looking. She's uptight, tense, not happy, kind of just existing. But when she's with me, she's happy, bubbly, smiling, and she's a kid. She's not existing, she's living. You know, there's a difference. Kind of like the father-dad situation, there's a difference. Existing and living is there's a difference. Man, why am I screwing these words up? I did it on both of them. Ugh. There's a difference. It's not even a tongue twister. But anyways, yeah. And it's like, oh, I know. Like, obviously, I only see her with me all the time, so I know how she is with me. And, like, these people see her with her mom, and then they see her with me, and they really see the difference. But even in the 5 minutes that I'm at her mom's place, I see the difference. How sometimes she's just so, like, it's almost like she's depressed. She's not, because she's only a kid. You know she's not depressed, but it's just like her mom just puts so much negative energy towards her. There you go. And it just, you know, kind of wears her down. And then it's like we leave and she gets with me, and it's like, you know, a flower and the sun came out and she's blooming and opened up and everything's better. All that stress is gone. And, you know, even that's another thing too. Even recently, she's been asking me every weekend, every Sunday when I have to go and bring her back to her mom, she says, is it your weekend this weekend? And I say, no, it's not my weekend. We just had our weekend. Remember, you were with me today. You were with me yesterday. We did this. And then she's, oh, yeah, that's right. Maybe it's not Saturdays. Maybe it's like Tuesdays. She'll ask me that. But it's like, I imagine the only reason she's asked me that is because she looks forward to my weekend. So it's a much more casual, laid-back, happy time. She knows it's going to be miserable being with her mom for all that time. Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and then half the day, well, not really half the day, Tuesday, because even if she doesn't have school, her mom works, but you know what I mean. So, and then speaking of that too, just throwing this in, so my daughter, our court order used to be, or is, not used to be, it is that I'm supposed to get her from noon on Saturday into noon on Sunday. And then that's what we were doing all along until last year. We changed it so that we had her every other weekend. So I would pick her up at 9 in the morning on Saturday and bring her back what was supposed to be like 7:30, you know, before work in the morning on Monday. Because that would account for my sleepovers. You know, Saturdays were supposed to be my sleepovers. Well, there's at least an average of 4 Saturdays a month. So that means that's 4 sleepovers. So if we do every other weekend and we did only Saturday sleepovers, that means I'm only getting 2 sleepovers. So we were going to do Sunday as well, so I'd still get my 4 sleepovers. Well, for some weird reason, my daughter didn't want to do that. She wanted to just have a visit on Sunday. Well, you know, sleep over Saturday and then just stay with me until 9 at night, like a Tuesday on Sunday. Oh, sweet. So, anyways, that's what we did. Now, at first, I thought it was her mom being difficult. So I talked to her about it. I was like, hey, you think she could just sleep over with me instead of me bringing her back? And she said, oh, she could, but she doesn't want to. And then she even did a test in front of me. She said, do you want to sleep over Dad's on Sunday? And she's like, no. And then I asked her myself, too. I said, why don't you want to sleep with me on Sunday? And she says, I don't know. I just don't want to. I want to go home and sleep there. And I was like, well, whatever. That's what you want to do. I mean, it's kind of upsetting to me, but whatever. Well, recently now, as of, I don't know, maybe last sleepover, so last weekend, she said, I'm going to ask Mom if I can sleep over with you on Sundays again. And I said, all right. The only reason you don't is because you said you didn't want to anyways, so, you know, it's fine with me. I don't care. And I was like, it shouldn't be a problem with your mom because, like I said, we do this schedule because of you. So then today, Tuesday, the 20th, she says, I asked Mom if I could sleep over on Sundays, and she said no. Now, prior to that, I think on Thursday, she told me that she asked her mom, and the answer then was probably not. Now it got moved up to just straight no. And it's just irritating. It's like, I didn't say anything to her yet, but it's just like, okay, why? Why is it no? Why can't she sleep over? She don't want to be with you anyways. So why are you going to force her to basically be with you? But it's just more of that, like, dick stuff that I have to deal with from her. Like, you know, why are you saying no? Is it just, you know, to try to feel like you're in power or something? You have authority? Oh, I can say no, and that affects 2 people. Ugh. It's just annoying. And then it goes back to that, too. In the beginning of court, I always said, you know, it'd be so much better if I get the primary residency. Because it really would. One, it would be better for Morgan. Obviously, she would have a much more happy, stable, loving, fun environment. So she could grow up like a normal kid and have a normal, happy life full-time, not just part-time happy. And then second, she also, I mean, it would also be better because I would be fair on so many things that she does not work with me on. And it's not because, I'm not saying this because, you know, I'm in this situation and I know how crappy it is. So I'm talking like, oh, well, if things were this way, I'd do this. No, it's just what I would do because it's my character. Like, for example, the child support. I probably wouldn't keep it, or I'd keep half of it. You know, I'd be like, I'll keep every other week or something, whatever. It's a little extra that helps me. And I'd give the other half back. I'd be like, I don't need all this. This is your money. You can have it. Not her. Jeez, if my child support for some reason is late by 1 day, she's asking about it. Hey, so child support didn't come in today. Blah, blah, blah. Do you know anything? And it's like, I don't know. I don't know what happened. I know it's not in my pay. My pay wasn't any higher. So my job did their part. It's something with the state then. Like, but you know what I mean? Like, it's hounding me immediately just for the money. And it's like, I don't know. It just seems kind of disgusting to me. Like, is that what matters? Does your kid not matter? It's just the money that you can get from me because we have a kid? Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm looking at it the wrong way, but I know if things were reversed, yeah, I wouldn't need the money. I mean, I need more money now because I'm dead broke because of child support. But if I had my full pay plus was getting child support from her, I'd be living good. Like, I wouldn't need her child support, and I'd probably give it to her to help her out. I mean, of course, if she's been being a dick to me all along like she does in real life, maybe I would keep it just as a way to, like, I don't know, be like, oh, well, you reap what you sow. I'd love to give you your money back, but you can't ever be nice, so whatever. Technically, this is my money, so... But, you know, like that, or like other things. Like, she's been so uncooperative all along about anything. You know, like there was one time I wanted to take her on a vacation in the middle of the week. Oh, she's got an excuse for that. Oh, she can't be missing school. But it was okay for her to go to Florida during a week, too, when there was school. Oh, that's fine, though, right? Because you wanted to do it for a whole week. I wanted to take her on vacation, and it maybe would have taken her out of school for 1 day. I think she would have missed a Friday. But, oh, that's a problem. Oh, she can't be missing days. But you can take her Monday through Friday. That's fine, right? And it's just, that's the kind of crap I deal with all the time. Even this. There's no reason why she says, no, I can't have her on Sundays. There's no reason at all. None. You know, even now, her school got canceled now for at least 2 weeks. The school's closed. So now it's 100% online. She was only going to school Monday, Tuesday as it was. Now it's 100% online. And so there's even less reason to say no. It's not like you're worried, like, I might be late bringing her back, so she'll be late for school or something. Like, no, there's nothing to worry about. There's no school. There's no, you know what I mean? Like, if I bring her back for 7:30, which I wouldn't, because that's when I'm supposed to be at work, but it doesn't matter. There's no reason, you know what I mean? Like, she wouldn't be late for anything. So it's like there's legitimately no reason to say no that she can't sleep with me, other than just being difficult for no reason, just because you think you can. I don't know. The only thing I do think about that's good is, you know, maybe as she gets older, it'll pay off in my benefit. You know, her mom might think she's cool now and think she can be this terrible person and have all this control and all this crap. But the day's gonna come when Morgan's old enough and she's like, you know what, F this. I don't want to live with you, Mom. You are such a pain to me. I'm gonna go to Dad's. You know, I mean, she could just pack up. She doesn't even need to pack up and leave. You know what I mean? She's got stuff here. I got clothes for her here, obviously. Toys, movies, you name it, she's got it. I mean, obviously, when she's older, I guess toys won't be a thing, but you know what I mean. Like, it's not like she really has to even pack up. I probably have more and better things for her with me anyways than what she has with her mom. So she could just be like, yeah, Mom, F this. When she's old enough, you know, like 15, say, 14. And then she'll be living with me. And it's like, well, you shouldn't have been a dick. Because now she's old enough to have that say. And what are you going to do about it? Nothing. But, yeah, I feel like it'll end up backfiring. It's just for now, it sucks. And for me, to have to deal with it, and it sucks to have to, like, hear this brutality for no reason. It's super unnecessary. My daughter's a good kid. She always has been. She was a fantastic baby, and she's still a good kid. And it's just like, her mom just acts like an idiot to her. And it's like, man, something needs to be done. I know that much. I just don't know what. That's the problem. I don't know what I can do. Like I said, I've gone to court already, and that was miserable and basically yielded no results, really. And I don't want to go through this huge debacle again, and then it's just a failure. Like, that would suck. It would be even worse now, too, because Morgan's older. At least then she was a baby. So it's like, you know, she didn't realize. Nothing affected her. Like, now she's 8. She would know. She would understand. It would be, I don't know. It's like, she'd probably know that we were, relatively speaking, fighting, you know, in court and stuff, and, like, we're her parents, and it's like, yeah, I know, she knows that we don't live together, and she has time with me and time with her mom, but I don't know how she'd feel about knowing that her parents are, like, fighting each other now, too. So, I don't know. It is something I was thinking about talking to her about. I was going to do it today, but then she kind of irritated me, like, right as I picked her up, only because she never pays attention. I've been telling her since she was 2 to pay attention to her surroundings, and here she is, 6 years later, still not paying attention. It irritates me, because it's like, man, I've told you for several years now, and you're still not paying attention. When are you going to learn to start paying attention? So, but anyways, it ended up, but yeah, so that's why I didn't end up talking to her about it. Not because I was like, you know what, you can deal with your mom, but I wasn't in the mood at first. And then afterwards, we just goofed around and did our own things, and we made a video, which will be up on my, I was gonna say my YouTube channel, here. It'll be up here sometime soon enough, maybe within a day or two. And, yeah. So I just never really got around to having that talk with her, but I don't know, it's something to think about. Like, just plant a seed, more or less. I'm not going to try to push anything, but just let her know, like, hey, if you're not happy with Mom, you know, there are things that we can try to do if you want to. I don't know how you feel, but if you want to, there are things I can try, and, you know, I don't know. Anyway, I think this is a good ending point. Basically, all I wanted to talk about was Saturday. And I've really gone on a huge tangent here, trailed way off. And I was driving home after dropping her off, and now I've been sitting in my driveway for, 5-10 minutes, still rambling on, and it's starting to get incoherent. I'm kind of getting tired. So, yeah, that's it. I guess thanks for checking this out, and until the next one, I said see ya.